Let's rob this bank. Ooh, police right next to me. You know what I think? I was watching police shooting people, like, you know, like cop shootings, you know, and shootings in Chicago. And I was watching this one video. This kid, like, he like stole some soda or something like that. Yeah, and like this one guy's recording. He's like, he ain't gonna let nobody touch that soda. He ain't gonna let nobody touch that soda. And then all of a sudden, like, the police show up, and they like instantly pulled out their guns. And the guy's like, shoot me, shoot me. And then he like walked away, but then he started walking back at the cops, and like he yelled something at him. And he was like, shoot me, you know, whatever. And the cops just lit him the fuck up. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, you know, there's times where you know, like, you hear about these people getting shot, and I'm like, all right, you know what? They deserved it. Fuck that dude, you know. But there was another time where I watched a video. This like kid, like, the cop had a POV camera on, and the fucking cop, like, this kid was running away, and the cop just went boom, 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 and like the dude did like a front flip, like, and like landed in like some dirty ass water and shit. And I was like, oh shit, like, what the fuck? Why'd you just shoot this dude? And so I just feel like cops should fucking wear those POV cameras, like, straight up. One of my videos, you know, later, that I'll upload later, the cops came into my house and they fucking like took money from me and shit. And you know, they walked into my house, you know, without a warrant. Just walked into my house and took money from me. Now, if those cops had a POV camera, that shit would not be happening. You know, you can't get away with that. Like, it should be directly, like, linked to a computer or some shit, you know? Every time a cop, like, their car turns on their lights and shit, they got a video, you know, a video of that, and then they have their microphones and shit. But, you know, this one cop that arrested me one time, he was telling me that they could choose to turn on their camera or something like that, or not their camera, their microphone. And I was like, really? Like, so if you're like, oh, you know, you don't like this dude and you want to kick his ass, you could just turn off your mic? And he was like, pretty much. I'm like, damn, that's, you know, messed up, pretty messed up. I just feel like cops should be, you know, mandatory, have to wear like you know, those POV cameras, like, you know, on those shows, you see cops with the cameras, like those, like, it was what was it, police women or whatever, they all had to wear those, you know, POV cameras and shit. But yeah, like the police shows or whatever, you see them like with like a GoPro mounted to their chest or something, and like they pull out a gun or whatever, and you see a couple cops that wear them, you know. But I feel like it should be mandatory, like it should be the law that every cop has to wear a POV camera. Because with all these shootings, like with that Trayvon Martin kid, and there was a little boy that was playing at a park, and he had a plastic gun or whatever, and, you know, the cop just shot the shit out of him. Like, I think he was like 7 or something like that. But that's crazy, dude. So I feel like cops should mandatory have to wear like a chest mount or one of those contour cameras or something, you know, just because it would stop so many of these shootings and, you know, crooked cops. Like, where this town that I live in right now, I know a dude, he was riding around, and the cops were like, they had known he smoked weed in his car, and they said, yo, if you just give us your weed, we'll let you go. Well, that same kid was telling me later he found out that those, you know, 2 cops that, you know, took his weed, they were arrested because they failed a drug test, you know, for pot. So how do we know that those cops, you know, didn't just take his weed and smoke it? Like, and then you also hear about there was a couple cops that got arrested over here for stealing like X amount of, you know, weight of cocaine from the evidence room. Like, that shit, the second you punch in, dude, that camera better fucking go on you and start recording. There's so many crooked cops out here, and it's just nuts. Like, Google like police shootings. Watch how many videos pop up, you know? Or I actually just watched a video the other day. This cop was following his wife, and the wife was telling the cop to slow down, and this random guy, I don't know how he got this cop's attention, but the cop pulls over to the side of the road, and then he turns on his lights, gets out of the car, walks towards the guy, and the guy's, you know, filming it. And he's like, you're doing 55 and a 45 or whatever, you know, whatever it was. And he's like, so? And he's like, you know, you shouldn't be speeding. And the guy's like, I'm a cop. And he's like, oh, just because you're a cop, you don't have to follow the rules or whatever, you know? And it's true, you know? So, in my personal opinion, I just feel like cops should wear POV cameras. It said in our Constitution or whatever that we have to, like, show the government that we're in charge, like overthrow our government or something, whatever the fuck it says. My boy William Capps would know better than I would. But we gotta show the police and the government that we're in control, not them. Cops do a lot of shady shit, and we should get it on camera. Everybody now has a cell phone, and they were trying to make it illegal in certain places where you can't film cops. They tried to pass that law in Chicago, and that shit was like instantly shut down. And we want to catch the crooked cops. I watched another video. This one cop, was, you know, or not one cop. There was a few cops. They were chasing this kid, and I don't know for, you know, what they were chasing him for. I think it was like for like drugs or something. And then the kid was running from the cops, and then he broke into a house, not knowing that house was one of, you know, these guys' fellow officers' house, and it was his, you know, the cop's wife was home. So they found the dude. They loaded him up in a car, and then later they turned around and beat the shit out of this dude, like fucked him up. I don't know if they killed him. I don't remember if they said, but they fucked this cop up. And the one cop, you know, he told his chief about it, and he's like, don't say anything. Then the guy went to a lawyer, and the lawyer was like, if you say anything else, I'm gonna have to, you know, open a case file about this, blah blah blah. Then the cop got fired, you know, for doing the right thing, for giving up these crooked ass cops. But yeah, that's just my opinion on shit. If I'm wrong, you let me know. If I'm right, then let me know. It's your boy Dubs 0806. Deuces.